is the state of men today. Yes, topic is the state of men today. The state of men today. Part of the curse on men since the book of Genesis has been drudgery in our work and therefore in our lives. We've all been there feeling the weight of responsibilities, expectations, and the pressure to keep it all together. But what if I told you that God has joy for you? Real joy, the kind that's deeper than your circumstances. That's why I want to talk to you today. And believe me, it's time for us to reclaim that happiness. As men, we often find ourselves in a place where friendship and connection take a backseat. Recently, I had a conversation with a buddy, and he's a podcaster from Arizona. He has a huge audience of men from all around the country. He taught me one shocking truth that many of us would rather ignore. Loneliness among men is at an all-time high. One expert called Galois Scott, a business professor, has highlighted some sobering statistics. 1 in 7 men in America does not have a single friend, and 1 in 4 can't name a best friend. That loneliness can become a breeding ground for despair. That is why the suicide rate for men is so much higher than for women. It's a hard truth to swallow, but if we want to change, we need to face it. Isolation goes against our very design as human beings. God said it is not good for man to be alone. We are created for connection, for friendships that uplift and support. Yet many of us find ourselves trying to go it alone. 3 keys to overcoming loneliness. 1 is connect with God. It is easy to roll our eyes at the idea that God is the answer, but let's be real. Most of us have tried to fill the void with other things, and it hasn't worked. Money, success, relationships, hobbies, they may satisfy for a moment, but they don't last. This person shared how worship aligns our hearts with God's purposes. It's a reminder that the deeper satisfaction doesn't come from chasing our own desires, but from seeking the one who created us. It is not about religion. It's about a relationship with God that centers and grounds us. Becoming Jesus like this is not about perfection. It's about adopting the character of Jesus, who laid his life down for others. Reach us as a powerful question. Why do men have mafia movies? It's not about the violence. It's about loyalty, about being part of something bigger. Real strength isn't in power over others. It is using your strength to lift others up. When we stop focusing on our own needs and start thinking about how we can serve those around us, it changes everything. This mindset shift is what builds lasting friendships and deep connections. Be loyal and faithful. That's the third one. So 3 keys to overcoming loneliness. 1, connect with God. 2, become Jesus-like. Have that attitude like I was talking in the other stream. Be loyal and faithful. Loyalty means standing by someone even when it costs you something. Loyalty isn't real until it's tested. It's about showing up for others, especially when they are going through tough times. It's easy to be there when things are good, but true friends sticks around when things get hard. That's the kind of friend we all need, and it's the kind of friend we should strive to be. Remember, these friends confront each other in private and stand together in public. That's a lesson we can all take. That friends confront each other in private and stand for each other in public. In 1 Timothy, Paul, an experienced mentor, speaks to his young protege, Timothy. Paul's words are that you're God's man. So run from these errors. Instead, chase true holiness, justice, faithfulness, love, hope, and tender humility. This advice is as relevant today as it was then. It's a call for men to pursue a different path, a path that's not defined by chasing after the next thrill, but by chasing after the character of God. The idea of chasing resonated deeply. As men, we are wired to pursue, to strive, to conquer. But what are we chasing? If we're not careful, we'll find ourselves running after things that don't satisfy us. Paul's message is so clear. Run from the empty promises of the world and chase after the things that lead to joy. And that's real joy. And talk about the challenge of biblical masculinity. Let's turn this conversation to turn topic that's often debated: masculinity. The church hasn't always been a place where men feel comfortable. Too often it's geared towards a gentler approach that doesn't always resonate with men's natural inclinations. But that does not mean we don't belong. It just means we need to discover what true scriptural masculinity looks like. Simply, biblical masculinity means laying down your life for others. It's about being the kind of man who steps in when others are hurting, who stands up for what's right, even when it's hard. It's about being strong, not just physically, but in character and in integrity. Consider a powerful image. If the Titanic is sinking and there aren't enough lifeboats, a man with biblical masculinity would give up his spot for a woman and her children. That's the essence of being Jesus-like. Putting others first, even at a personal cost. It is a strength that the world desperately needs to hear and to see. Let's talk about facing our struggles with honesty. We all struggle. We all have moments where we feel inadequate or overwhelmed. Not too long, I had a friend share his own story how at 23, despite having what the world would consider success, he still felt empty. With emotion in his voice, he said that it was not until he encountered Jesus that he found the joy that he was looking for. For many men, that feeling of inadequacy can turn into a cycle of shame and isolation, but we don't have to walk that path alone. That's why it's important to find a community, to join a small group where you can be real about your struggles. It's not about putting on a front. It's about finding friends who will walk with you through the ups and downs. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Vision gives us a reason to keep moving forward. When you have a vision for your life, whether it's loving your family, building a strong marriage, or serving God, it keeps you focused and grounded. Vision gives you the strength to say no to the things that will drag you along and yes to the things that bring the true fulfillment. One recent story shared with me had a nugget of truth from an unexpected place, a conversation at a blackjack table in Las Vegas. My friend and his wife had met an older woman who shared the secret to a long and successful marriage. Wake up every day and give each other a reason to stay. That simple advice applies beyond marriage. It's about living in a way that makes people want to be around you. It's about being the kind of friend, the kind of husband, the kind of father who brings joy to others around him. So how do you step into your role as a man of God? At the end of the day, the message is simple. It's time for us as men to rediscover the joy that God has for us. It's time to step into our roles as protectors, providers, and friends. I said it's time to step in your role as a protector, as a provider, and as a friend. It's time to chase after the things that really matter and to leave behind the things that only lead to emptiness. Let me close with the call to action. God's got more for men in this room. It's time to be happy again. It's time to have a vision again. That's my challenge for us. Don't settle for anything less than the life God has for you. Run from what's holding you back and chase after the life He's calling you to. Some questions to ponder as we call it, as we come to a stop. What are some of the things you've been chasing in life? Are they leading you to joy or pulling you away from it? How can you invest in meaningful friendships that go beyond the surface? In what areas of your life do you need to adapt a biblical vision for yourself and your family? And I'd like to hear feedback from you. If you like this podcast, can you subscribe and also press on the like button? And also you can follow more videos I've shared on this channel. God bless you. Joseph Kirema here. Son of encouragement. Bye bye. See you in the next one.